All right, it's Las Vegas Boulevard. Your big homie, Stacy G. I'm sitting here with a pillar of the Las Vegas community, a land developer. That's right, y'all. He gave jobs to black people in the black community. He's been doing that ever since I've known him. The brother put me to work. He goes by the name of John Edmond. John Edmond, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, Stacey.
Welcome to Las Vegas Boulevard.
Thank you. Yeah, nice little spot you got here, buddy.
Well, you know, we trying.
I got it.
We definitely trying, man. Listen, I am very glad that you reached out to me to share your story about KCEP and the run-in you had with Larry Weekly, because I know there's a lot of people that are scared to speak out against his brother because of his political position that he had. But I'm one of those guys that I don't care nothing about it, and I told him that. I met with him. I told him I don't care nothing about your political position. That don't scare me. The people you know don't scare me. What I'm pissed off about with these guys is they're trying to change history, and they're really not for the Vegas community. They are self-serving. So what I wanted to ask you, Mr. Edmond, is I know that you own the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center.
Correct.
Which was known as the Golden West Shopping Center at first. And you had the John Edmond Town Center across the street from the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center as well. You bought that one from Magic Johnson.
Correct.
Okay. Now, with 88.1, KCP, we're going to start there first.
Yeah, that's
KCP.
a good place to start.
Yeah, we'll start there first. Because I saw their documentary.
I didn't see the documentary only because I had talked to the general manager a couple of times. And somehow, no matter what I was telling him, he wasn't really kind of listening or didn't really want to do it right. And, you know, I'm probably glad that we're doing the podcast on getting history right.
Yes,
because part of what seems to happen in Las Vegas as it relates to black history, a lot of it is not correct or is kind of one-sided.
Exactly. And
so forth and so on.
Yes.
So while I'm still here, because I know it would never be told if I wasn't.
There you go. Now listen, I'm not with the one-sided thing. I'm with the not telling the truth. That's what I believe. I'm not the one-sided because it's the not telling the truth part.
Okay,
that's what I'm with. I'm just saying. I'm saying you're being a little too easy on them. It's all. You know, you're being a little too easy.
Let's start. Okay, let's start from the beginning. KCEP.
KCEP. Now, how did without you? Let's say this before you go there. Without this man, without John Edmond, KCEP would not even be existing.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, tell the people what happened to KCEP to where you had to take over and put them up so they can still continue to function.
Right. Well, you know, and I think some of this, you know, how history kind of unfold itself and then come back around. For example, when Nucleus Plaza, that's my corporation, purchased the Golden West Shopping Center, EOB was funded by, KCEP was funded by EOB.
Okay. Try not to hit the table because it's gonna come through on their microphone. You know that microphone gonna pick up everything. If you got to tap your leg. The mic picks it all up, man.
So when I purchased Golden West Shopping Center, EOB had just folded.
Okay.
They had taken the financing away, so.
Now the government took the financing.
The government took the financing away.
Okay.
It was a government-funded EOB, and part of EOB, besides all the other programs that was involved as it relates to training and child care and other different things, they had KCEP inside of the shopping center.
Gotcha.
Okay, so once they folded, KCEP had no place to go. It had no home, had no money, had no financing, nothing of that nature. And Dr. Jazz was one of the late night jazz guy, and was Lee. What's Lee's name?
David Lee.
David Lee.
David Lee. Okay, yeah. I remember David Lee and those guys. Yeah.
And Gino Barmore.
Yeah.
And a couple of the other ones. They had nowhere to continue the operating out of.
Okay.
So their funding was taken. So what I did was I just purchased a shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
So where the Heritage Hall, that's why I was saying how you maybe could relate to, because Heritage Hall is how you got hired.
Yes, the banquet room, that big banquet room, man, that was the shit. I don't care what nobody say, fuck the dumb shit. The Heritage Hall was the fucking place to be.
So keep in mind, KCEP was in the Heritage Hall, but it was the space where EOB functioned out of. It was a big space and plenty of different programs, but KCEP was one of the programs.
Gotcha.
So, of course, when they closed, when they shut down, the government took the funding away and they shut down. KCEP didn't have a home.
Gotcha.
They had nowhere to operate out of. Mm-hmm. If I would have turned my back on the radio station, there wouldn't have been, just like you said, there wouldn't have been no KCEP.
Let me ask you this. Now you said they took the funds away. Now why did that happen?
Well, there's all kind of stories about misuse of fund, misappropriation, and all of that from the administration point of view. So,
yes.
So the government came in. I guess they found a lot of things that was happening within side of management of KCP.
Yes,
because KCP did ring for a very long time. I mean, it was there 20 years or more.
Yes.
So, and then over 20 years span, people have a tendency to now start doing things that they ain't got no business.
Self-serving. That's self-serving. Even in those board positions, people are self-serving. So what you're saying is, what I've been saying is going on today, right now, is the misappropriation of funds.
Right. Well, I don't know what's happening, right?
No, I do. I know you don't know. I know you don't know because you've been out of the game. But I know what's going on right now, and that's what I've been saying: the misappropriation of funds.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing. They never, ever have a budget for anything, but they're getting money from the government, and I've got the numbers. I've got the exact numbers for the last 4 years that they got from the government. Even the numbers listen, they got 200 and. Let me see. I think it was like $236,000 because I don't have the number right in front of me right now. But it's $200,000 that they got to do that the documentary, the 50th documentary. Now, if you see that documentary, it is nowhere near worth $200,000. It may be $10,000 at the most.
Yeah. So I didn't see it, and I heard about it, and I just knew that. Because of the administrators within KCEP, that there was a lot of not accuracies in there. Because a few times they have had like the 45th anniversary and this, that, and the other.
Yes.
And I didn't go to any of those either.
Me neither. But I didn't either.
But nevertheless, so now let's take it from the beginning. All right. So. They had no home. KCP had no place to go, no place to operate out of, and no funding. So what I did was allow them to, since I done bought the shopping center, allow them to operate out of my office for 6 months, a year. I can't remember how long. There was a point that came down to where they needed more antenna, more.
Okay.
So. Then we end up getting them a trailer, and that trailer set right out on the corner right there of Orange and H.
And H, right.
Okay,
gotcha.
in the trailer. All right? So, and then they still hadn't gotten refinanced. And so there was a group of us, business people, and Sam Armstrong was one.
Okay.
Dr. Westfield was another one. Lou Richardson was another one.
Okay.
So, Lou Richardson was a contractor. Dr. Westfield was our doctor.
Okay.
Sam Armstrong owned Ray and Ross,
Okay.
and Nucleus Plaza with me.
Okay.
So we wanted to purchase KCEP, but when we found out that because of its license, and it was licensed as a nonprofit station, then we because we wanted to do it from a business point of view.
Yes.
And we wasn't able to do it.
Man, I wish you guys would have done that, because it would be in a better position right now today. If you guys had went on ahead and bought that station, I understand it's nonprofit, but you still could have made, because the station was thriving when I was there. And I know, like some of the people that you named, the Gino B's, Gino Baltimore, DC Ryder, those guys mentored me coming up in the game. So, and I love listening to them on the radio, because they were great. They were professionals. They sounded great.
Yeah, they did.
And with those guys showing me the ropes, and with you bringing me in, letting me turn your banquet room, the Heritage Hall, into a teenage nightclub every Friday, with you letting me do that, that gave me a business sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, because you opened the door for me when it comes to a nightclubbing, because I was going to everybody else's parties and DJing on their stuff, until you gave me a place to where, okay, well, you guys come in here, you can do this, you can do that on Friday nights, and bam, now we got a teenage nightclub on Friday nights in Las Vegas on the West Side.
Yeah. So let's say that probably at least a couple of years from the time that it went out of business, from the time that it moved in the trailer behind West Side School. So I don't know, when they talk about the documentary, I'm assuming that's where they take up, that's where AOB was.
Right.
Instead of even mentioning the fact of where AOB came from.
Where it came from, exactly.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do that, because when I saw it, they did not mention that. And that's what fucked me up. You weren't in the video. You weren't in that movie. How is it that you weren't in the movie and you saved the station?
Well, there's some other things of how I wasn't doing what, like Nucleus has probably spent maybe $20 million in development in the community.
Okay.
And guess what? The Martin Luther King parade.
Yes.
I have never been asked to be, what is that?
Marshal? To be
the Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal, okay.
Never. As much as I've done in the community. And, then there was another thing to where there was a lady that came around.
Wendell didn't even call you in, Wendell P. Williams didn't even call you in?
Because, the Lawrence Weekly is a part of that,
they got their little boule going. But then I said that about Wendell, because Wendell's been pretty good with me.
Wendell's a good guy. He told me all kind of stories about his relationship with Weekly, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
But you just, some of the things that like for, in my case, for example, they did a book, like the 100 most influential people that did things and brought about different movement in Black history of Las Vegas. Guess who's not in the book?
You,
John Edmond.
See
why? Because they went to the county, I guess, and tried to get information on who's who,
right,
Blacks in Vegas, and John Edmond was not a part of it.
That's because Larry Weekly. I know why. That's a Larry Weekly. That's a Larry Weekly move, because he's trying to change the way history is in Vegas, so it makes it look like he is the guy that did this and did that. And the same with Craig. That's why they didn't want you in that documentary, to tell the truth about KCP and why we have it today, because it would have changed the narrative from what they supposedly had done with the station and from what you actually did for the station.
Yeah. That's true. And you would think, Craig, because it's like there's nothing between Craig and I, and Craig, as you was telling me, because I thought that because Gladys Knight, Elizabeth Knight, and his mom helped us put together the Heritage Hall.
Right? No,
that
had nothing to do with Craig.
Came through Gladys.
No.
But you said that you the one
came
that brought him through.
Craig came into this game through me. Period. Into the Las Vegas game for his entertainment, DJing, and all that rapping. He came in through me. He came into KCP through me. He came and started DJing at the Heritage when you started letting me do the Heritage Hall, turn that into the teenage club. He came in. I had just let him join because he begged me to join my club. He was begging, man, please let me be a part of your team. He wanted to be with Stacey G and the POP so bad because I turned him down a few times, and I finally let him in, and he came in. That's when Pharaoh came to you and told you about it.
Exactly.
And that's how we came, because Pharaoh was my manager at that time, and I was still at Chaparral. I was still in high school. So Pharaoh came to me and said, hey, man, I want to manage you. And I was like, really? I said, okay. I said, well, man, I'm trying to find a place where I can throw my own parties, man. We need a club. And he said, well, I might have a spot. And that's when he came to you, and you was like, okay, let's do it. You was like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, okay, this shit is finna be dope. This is finna be dope. And we rocked the house.
Yeah,
and we rocked.
It was good. It was a great little move. And, and let's say that the parking lot, you would only have like 5 or 6 cars in the parking lot.
Right.
But remember, it was a teenage thing.
It's a teenage thing.
But there was, you tell me how many people was in there.
Hey, listen, every week we had that place full. And then, the parking lot started getting fuller because then once people started knowing about it, the white kids started coming to, to that side of town. So that's when the parking lot started getting full and Metro started coming in. Right. Okay, where are all these little white kids coming from?
Exactly.
And that was because I was going to the different schools. Being that I was still in high school, I was able to get on campus and pass out the flyers to the different schools. But the biggest crowd that started with us was the crowd on the west side. When the thing is over, kids is walking around. Yeah, exactly.
Kids walking down the hill down there. Kids is walking.
Yes.
But
that was because of you. I mean, I brought the kids, but you actually made that happen for us. All the people that came up and that was coming to the parties that I was doing there, they owe thanks to you like I do.
Yeah.
Craig really does. Because, and see, that's what fucks me up. Because it's like, dude, this dude knows that you were the man that gave us a spot to throw parties.
Yeah.
And
for you guys to get started in what you're doing perhaps even today.
Exactly. And I bring the guy into the game, and he stabbed me in the back. So I know that he didn't put you in this video, because I didn't see you nowhere in there, and that shocked me. Yeah. I didn't see you in that movie, this documentary. I'm like, how in the hell do you not have John Edmond in the documentary? This guy sitting right here was one of the guys that put us on. But you won't have him in the documentary. That is crazy.
Isn't that something? I mean, now, you see what I'm saying? That's what I talk about when it comes to history and not writing the real history truth.
Yes.
And that, it's sad, but I don't know, that's a little black Las Vegas politics, I guess.
Yes, it's like you said. It's like those guys get in position and they want to tell their side of the story and not the real story. The people that actually helped them get in positions to do what they were doing, like the Larry Weekleys. He won't tell how he actually got in the position. Yeah. Because he thinks that he just did it. He picked himself up by the bootstraps and he just dug in and dug hard and all that shit. Because when I met with him, he came to me like a politician. Mm-hmm. When I met with him, I think it was like last month I met with him. He came to me like a politician trying to tell me his story. Well, my mother abandoned me when I was a baby, and this, I'm like, well, dude, that's a great story to tell people that you're trying to get to vote for you.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean. But
more though, so I don't know why you want to continue to go on with
because the sympathy, man. See, he's looking for sympathy, John. He's looking for sympathy. That's why would he come to me with that? It's like, dude, I know you. I'm born and raised here, so I know you. You telling me about your mother abandoning you? I say, well, welcome to the club. All the other people whose mother abandoned them. I know people whose mother abandoned them, and she never left the house because of crack. But she didn't give a damn about the kids. The kids didn't eat. The kids didn't do that. She didn't pay the bill. She didn't pay the light bill. She didn't do nothing. But she was in the house with the kid, but it's like she wasn't there because she wasn't taking care of the kids. Okay. But you want to tell me your story because your mother abandoned you. Well, she left you with somebody that actually took care of you and paid the bills and did this and did that for you. Yeah. So these other kids didn't have that. So you're looking for sympathy from me, and I'm not going to give you sympathy because we're not playing politics here. We're talking about stuff that you're supposed to be doing for the community. Yeah. The KCP is supposed to be here for us. It's supposed to bring us together as a community. the station is.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, it did. Yes,
You know,
it did.
and now it doesn't do that. It lost all the listeners. It lost all the revenue. And the business people don't do business with the station. And they're trying to figure out why they can't get people to come in and support the station, because the community don't feel like it's their station. And I know you're a part of the community. Do you feel like that's your station? Do you feel like KCP? I mean, let me ask you this.
No,
I'm
I don't.
going to ask
I
it to you
don't
like
even
this.
listen to KCP.
See, you don't even listen to it.
Maybe sometimes when I think about the day is Thursday,
That's bad.
I might, but not on a regular basis.
John, that's bad.
You know.
He said maybe sometimes, y'all. Maybe sometimes. If I think about it, it's a Thursday. I might. Maybe sometimes. That's not good. Yeah. That is not good. People was always listening to KCP. When they came to town, the first station they hit was KCP. When you driving in, you got, let's put that on 88. Boom, boom.
That's true, yeah.
Now they don't do that. And that's because they don't feel like it's their station. Do you feel like it was worth saving the station now? That when you save the station like you did, and in the position it is in right now, the direction it has went to, and knowing the people that's in charge is not doing what they're supposed to be doing for the community with the station, do you feel like it was worth saving?
Well, of course, because it was, it's the voice for the community. So I can't say that I didn't feel like, for what I was able to save the station.
Right.
I mean, so that's kind of not the right question. It's a matter of, at some point, the station, if the station, the real truth about the station and the real truth about how the format was and how the format perhaps could be in order to change the station to a degree to where it do start serving the people and where the people do start, listening back in because it's got substance,
yes,
then that's what it should happen. So,
but how does that happen if the people in charge are self-serving and they don't want to get out of those spots? So how does that happen?
It won't happen, until some pressure is put on the station to make changes, to rearrange changes. One of the things that I can't see that is constantly being flowed through, and that is, Larry Weekly, and the fact that if he is still in control, but is funded by the county, then why not, let's say, whoever an elected official for that particular area is the chairman, not the chairman of KCEP.
And that's what I thought it was supposed to be, because I was figuring, okay, well, Larry came in as the chairman in the early 2000s. Because first he was the vice chairman, and then he came in and became the chairman. I believe he was the commissioner at that time when he became the chairman.
See, so, and by it being funded by the county, it makes sense.
Because it's a conflict of interest for him to still be sitting in that seat.
I think so.
You know what I mean? Well, it is. That's a conflict of interest for you to be, and you're not the commissioner.
Yeah,
because it's got to be a bipartisan person there, right?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, really, that's the way that it actually should be operated. Yeah. Whoever wins to become the county commissioner in that ward, in that district, that should be one of the positions that they take.
Yeah. Well, I'm here right now to put that pressure on.
Well,
that's why we're sitting here right now today talking about this, because we both know.
That's the way it should be, though. I mean, it just should be either part of the law, or part of the rules,
yes,
or part of history, or part of the community.
Yes.
Let's say the community should actually, want that to happen.
They do. But see, what a lot of people don't understand, some of the people that moved here don't understand, is that certain people were scared of Larry Weekly because of his political position and the people that he know in political positions, so they won't speak out against him.
That's just in the best interest for the community.
Well, it's not against him, but he looks at it like it's against him, because it's definitely in the best interest of the community.
Right.
But he's not going to look at it that way. Because if it was really for the best interest of the community, the station wouldn't be in the position that it's in right now. You know what I mean? He's already told me. The man has already told me personally, and I got this on tape. He told me that he wasn't paying attention to KCP like he was supposed to be. That's why Craig is able to run amok doing what he's doing. I'm like, really? I say, well, I don't see nothing business about that. How do you keep track of the money if you're not paying attention? That's what I want to know. How do you keep track of the revenues coming in or not coming in if you're not paying attention to the station? Because any other general manager wouldn't last for 18 years and there's no money coming in. You know what I mean? You lost all your listeners. You lost your revenue. So by a year and a half, you would have been gone as a general manager. Any company, I don't care what company you is, because the bottom line is to make money. Even if you're a nonprofit organization, the bottom line is to make money. And I understand you can only make so much money and you can't compete with a commercial station, being that you're a nonprofit organization or a public radio station. You can't compete with the commercial stations, but you can make the money because you keep the money working. You get you hire people, and you get the station to the point to where it's doing really good with that extra money coming in. So instead of just trying to pocket the money, you can recycle that money back into the station to get it to advance. Like the city's growing, the station should be growing.
Yeah, that is true. Now, there was Sherman Rutledge. What happened to him? I mean, he was the general manager there.
Sherman Rutledge.
Quite a while. I mean,
yes, he was.
So it ain't like you can't change. It can't change.
That's true. Sherman came in 93? And he lasted for about 8 years or so. Craig lasted 18 years. He's got 18 years of doing nothing. But the station was thriving when Sherman was there still.
Yeah.
But once they started switching management and things of that nature, that's when things started going downhill. Okay? So Sherman was there, yes, he was, but Sherman was doing things at the station to mess up the history of the station.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about any of that, any function of any of that.
Yeah.
I know nothing about what's happened. I'm just kind of laying out basically what I do know about.
Yeah. Well, like I say, Sherman was there. You're right about that. He was there. Al Johnson was there.
Yeah.
Al Johnson was there for a long time because he was there when we started doing the Teenage Live Remotes.
Right.
So he was there through the early 80s to the 90s until like 93. That's when, 92, 91, 92, because LC took over as interim or acting general manager and PD. And then they brought in Sherman in 93. Okay. That's how that happened. But yeah, the station can thrive because I've seen it thrive. I've seen the money that it was making. Now they don't even charge to get into live remotes, so they don't get that donation. The live remotes is free. So I'm trying to figure out how they're going to make money doing that if you're not going to get the entry donation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've never did a live remote to where it was free. All their functions now are free. So it's like, how do you make money? How are you making revenue? How are you going to be able to implement all these different programs that you should be implementing if there's not money coming through the door? Okay. You know what I mean? And the money that you're getting for the government, okay, the stabilization checks that you get from the government, how is that going to work? If you're putting that money in your pocket and you're only using so much of it to do the programs that you're supposed to be doing, because you're licensed to do certain programs in the community, and if you're not doing that, then that right there calls for a purpose for your license to be reviewed.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all in workings that I guess you and
yes. These are things. Yes, these are things that I'm bringing to the table
to kind of see a difference in the community.
Yes. That, and like I say, the people in the community they won't speak up on this stuff because they were scared of Larry Weekly. But a lot of people tell me when I see them to this very day, hey man, listen, I'm glad you're saying what you see. I'm glad you're speaking out on this. Well, I tell them somebody got to. Somebody has to, and I'm going to be the motherfucker to do it.
Yeah, I just hate the fact that, the real truth about the existence of the station has been left out. That's, that's really, it's heartwarming that the fact that it's not, the truth hasn't really been told.
Right.
The existence of KCP right to this day and what kept it from not completely folding.
Okay. Mr. Edmond.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you about, because I know you and Larry Weekly bumped heads. Now, I want to ask you, in what way did you bump heads with Larry Weekly?
I don't know how we bumped heads. I just, I know that we have no love for each other.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Okay.
But there's just been incidents that has taken place as it relates to the community and development that we just didn't seem to
see eye to
eye on the way stuff develops in the community.
Right. Well, I think that's not just you. I think that's a lot of people in the community say they had to bump heads with him over certain things and that's supposed to be happening in the community. So what exactly happened to where you guys bumped heads, though? I mean, something happened to where you guys bumped heads. Like I said, I know that you had the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center,
right?
And I know that you had the Edmond Town Center across the street from the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center because you bought I bought
the Magic Westland Plaza.
Right, exactly.
And what had happened was that the Magic Westland Plaza was sitting on 10.5 acres of land.
Okay.
That whole land strip was actually owned by the city. Okay. And when I say owned by the city had recovered the land from EDA, which is where I ended up working for EDA.
Okay.
The last job that I had.
Okay.
But back in the day, the city had acquired that whole strip. So there was a time when the city wanted to develop the empty parcel of land.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the city wanted to develop several portions of land that the city owned that they really got from the federal government through EDA.
Okay.
The land next to Magic Westland Plaza, which was 10.5 acres.
Okay. Now that was owned by Magic Johnson?
No, it was owned by the city.
By the
Magic
city?
Johnson owned the Vons.
Okay, so he only owned the Vons.
Actually, and theoretically, Magic Johnson didn't own it. It was a dude by the name of Raw Walters that actually owned the shopping center, built the shopping center.
Gotcha.
And because it had happened during the course of the Rodney King riot, so the city and, white people that say that if we can put maybe a black name on the shopping center, that'll maybe be something that the community will accept and tear up in their opinion.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's how Magic Johnson's name got tied to it.
Okay.
Some more history that you probably
I didn't know that. Yeah, that is something I did not know.
Yeah, the developer's name was Wall Walters.
Wall Walters.
Yeah.
So he was the actual owner of that, not Magic Johnson. They just put Magic's name there just for the sake of it not being torn down.
Yeah, in other words, because the riot,
right.
of the king and stuff that got.
Because they didn't know that you owned the Nucleus Plaza Shopping Center during the Rodney King riot, so they started burning up a part of the shopping center, right?
Well, actually, so what happened was that I had a Korean grocery store on the end.
On the end, was it Super 8, Big 8, or one?
Big 8,
Big 8,
Big 8 supermarket there on the end, and when I first bought it, it was Dale and his partner that owned it. And then they ended up selling it to a Korean guy, Kim.
Okay.
So during the Rodney King riot, from California, and what has kind of started the riot that had to do with a Korean that had shot and killed a girl that had stole a popsicle or something out of the store. It kind of, so all of that, came
built up.
to,
came to a head, built up on them.
Yeah. And so I'm out there. I'm out at the shopping center, and so the security guards tell Kim, "said Man, you need to get up out of here, man, because it's just a lot of stuff going on out there, a lot of wrong. And, people kind of running up and down the street at first, and kind of." And so they did. They got Kim out of there, and then next thing you know, a crowd of people started trying to break in the door. And then one thing led to another. He had a plexiglass door, but they ended up breaking through the door, getting in, loitering, and then Molotov cocktail, and it goes up with smoke.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people was not under the impression that
you owned it. Exactly.
You know, they felt that the Korean store guy owned the store.
Right, exactly.
No, the Korean guy is a tenant of mine.
Exactly.
You know, because a lot of people did come and call and apologize for what had happened after the fact.
Right.
To the fact that their anger was towards the Korean store owner, not so much towards Nucleus Plaza.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember because I used to shop at that store myself.
Yeah, well,
you know,
it was a store in the community.
Yes,
so you know, but going on to Lawrence Weekly, and you know, he's a city councilman. So they had put a bid out, a RFP proposal, request for proposal to develop the empty portions of land.
Okay.
That the city now acquired through EDA, through the government.
Okay.
That land happened to be the 10.5 acres that was next to the Vons.
Okay.
And then there was about another 10, 12, 15 acres of land that was on Martin Luther King. All the land that was behind McDonald's there on Martin Luther King. And Lake Mead, all that city-owned land where now they got that
FBI building
Legacy
there.
Park and all that. Didn't go back that far, but you know, mostly all of that for Legacy Park, all the way up to the land across the street, the city-owned.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay, so in the RFP, I end up winning to develop all of those parcels.
Okay.
All right. So now, you know, and I'd put like a $50,000 deposit up on the land on MLK.
Okay.
And I had also put a deposit up on the land next to Magic Western Plaza or the Vons.
Gotcha.
To develop.
Okay.
And so in the process of trying to get it developed, so Lawrence Weekly, what he decided that he all of a sudden now don't want Nucleus to develop the property. He doesn't want it.
He does.
Why you don't want it? There's no real reason why. I mean, the city manager, city staff, none of these people could just figure out what seemed to be his problem. Okay. So now they sent me cease and desist. Letter.
Okay.
That either I had to develop the land behind the McDonald's, or turn it back into the city. Now, mind you, the land was in Nucleus Investments' name, but
Now, you talking about the land behind the McDonald's on Lake Mead?
On Lake Mead.
Okay.
Now, I'd already started on the land, the Edmond Town Center land. Okay. Which is the land next to Vons, that 10.5 acres.
Gotcha.
But I've now got the rights to develop all of this stuff on the west side.
Right.
So I would say, you know, theoretically looking at it today, you know, Lawrence Weekly probably cost me, I don't know, $15-20 million.
Yeah.
You know, if people don't realize, nobody don't even know the story.
Yeah, because that's a lot of land right there, man, and it needed to definitely be developed.
Yeah.
And no better person than you.
Yeah, I mean, had already been developing land, putting my money up.
Yes.
And, you know, of course, you know, at one time I had like 35, 40 employees.
Now, didn't they have to bring this like to a vote?
Yeah, so the Edmond Town Center piece, now we just started to develop Edmond Town Center. Okay. The land on MLK and and Martin
Lake Mead.
They didn't have to take that by the city vote. They just sent me a letter to tell me that either I got to pay now, like the full $300 and some odd $1,000 for the land, or they're going to take the land back.
Take the land back. Gotcha.
Okay. The interesting one though is the Edmond Town Center piece. So now, I done spent like $300,000 for drawings. And started to develop the land. And once I started shoving dirt, Lawrence Weekly wanted the land back. He wanted the land back. He wanted the land back. So end up now, but I done already invested like close to $300,000 or $400,000 in just the between the drawings and the prep work and all of that stuff.
Right.
But he wanted the city to take the land back.
Right.
All right. So now we had to end up taking the city and Lawrence Weekly to court.
Okay.
So I think this is why the guy don't like me to this day, perhaps.
Okay.
Because now we end up having to take the city to court to develop Edmond Town Center, to develop the largest piece of commercial real estate in the community. Lawrence Weekly don't want it done. So the city now, so now we go to court. Okay, so the judge asked the city lawyers, so why not this development? Okay, well, the city want the community to decide. The community to decide, because now we got up in before the court, and we got all of the tenants. We got a check for $18 million to start the development. So in other words, we got tenants, we got the money up, we have started on, we broke grounds, we've started developing the property, and the city don't want it. Well, Lawrence Weekly don't want it.
Lawrence Weekly don't want this.
So so it goes further to where the judge decided that this is just too much. It's too much. That hurting the community is just not right. But my judgment is to take it back before the city council. Okay. So the city then took. So now we end up having to take it back to city council for approval. So now we get up, and we show city council the cashier's check made out for the property, $18 million cashier's check. We show them, we got EB Games, we got the bank, we got Foot Locker, we have Sally's Beauty, we got Family Dollar, we got the shopping center, the one now Edmond that we're going to build. We got Citibank, we got all of this stuff we got in place with leases. If we build Edmond Town Center.
Gotcha. So all the spaces the tenants was basically we already had
85-90% of the space was already leased up.
Gotcha.
Pre-leased. Okay. So now we show all of this to the city council and the mayor at that time, which was Mayor Goodman. Okay. And as we now trying to get a vote and we have started construction. So it ain't like, it's just raw land. We got bulldozers over on the land. Okay. Caterpillars and all, we just start moving dirt.
Right.
So as now we're asking the city council, could we continue to building out Edmond Town Center? There was opposition by Lawrence Weekly. Okay. So now Larry Brown, who was a city councilman, he ended up going on to become a county commissioner as well. He was a city councilman. So he was the very first one that said, man, with all of this they showing here, and lots of times, and especially in that area, a $18 million cashier's check to develop.
Right.
Why don't the city want it?
Right.
It seems like something personal to me.
Sounds like it to me.
So he said, I vote that the property be continued to develop, that Nucleus Plaza had John Edmond to continue to develop it.
Okay.
Okay. So he was the first one to vote for the continued development.
Okay, well, good for Larry
Or
Brown.
Woofter, who's, the attorney general, attorney,
Mm-hmm.
Woofter, was the second guy.
Okay.
And he says, man, it's just, that community really could use this lick that Edmond them is trying to do over in that community.
Yes.
I vote second.
Okay.
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 And then the next one was there was a third one, the guy that was a barber. I can't think of his name right now. But he was the third guy that says, well, I see that it got 2 votes already. And so he kind of pitter-pattered around, and then the mayor stepped in and said, he looks at Lawrence, and he asked Lawrence, he said, Lawrence, man, it's just too much on the table, man.
Right, right.
I mean, this should city council, but it's in his ward, so the mayor giving him respect.
Right.
To,
change your mind, hey, man.
Change your mind, man.
Yeah.
So Lawrence Weekly says, I don't care what y'all do, but he can't get my vote. But the mayor then voted, and then the rest of them voted to let the property be developed.
Right.
But right now, I guarantee you, pull up the record that Lawrence Weekly was opposed to Edmond Town Center, that development happening there on H and Owens.
Okay, but see now, that's a shame.
Yeah, sure.
Because here's a guy that says he's for the community.
Right.
So if you're for the community, why would you try to stop a development like this from happening that's going to bring jobs into the community? And like you said, all the other city councilmen and the mayor voted for this project to happen.
That's how it happened.
So, and it took Larry Weekly to vote against it. Why? What did he want? A kickback or something?
No, I don't. He just being Larry Weekly.
Well, I mean, come on, man. I'm with the mayor and everybody else. This shit sounds personal to me.
Anybody that's listening to the thing, and they can ask him, say, man, how, that Edmond Townsend, I heard the broadcast, Tasty T's broadcast, and I'm curious to know why you didn't want the shopping center developed over there on 8.
I want to know that.
Well, then
I would like to know why the fuck wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't want the Edmond Town Center to come up right in the community, in the 106, 89106, right there, and this is your district.
Right.
So why wouldn't you want this to happen? If you're bringing jobs, if you're going to bring jobs to your district, if this means that people in the community don't have to drive cars to go to work,
to the grocery store, to go to
right.
Right. I mean, we had 90% national tenants that would have been in the community.
And so this is Larry Weekly, the guy that's trying to change the narrative on how the history of the West Side was created and put together in the development of it. Excuse me, the development of the West Side. He's trying to change the narrative of the history of that, along with Craig trying to change the narrative of the history of the radio station. So they're trying to do both, because they try to do it with me, and I'm not going to say they with Craig, but Larry definitely tried to do it with me with the radio station. So, well, if it wasn't for me, the radio, I say that's bullshit. I told him straight in his face, that's bullshit, and don't you be telling motherfuckers that shit, because that's a fucking lie. Yeah. So if it wasn't for John Edmond, and I got witnesses, because I wasn't the only one at this meeting. There was some more people in the community at this meeting. Yeah. And I told him, I say, that's bullshit. I know the history of the radio station. If it wasn't for John, we wouldn't have KCP. And I told him this to his face. All he could do was... And I'm like, I don't care about you rolling your eyes. I don't care about none of that, dude. I'm not going to let you change the history of this fucking station.
On that vote, that third guy was Gary Reese.
Gary Reese. Okay.
Yeah, he was the third guy. And he just said, it seemed like I'm being outvoted in it, because he was going to go along with Lawrence. But then it seemed like I'm getting outvoted. So he voted for it.
Yes.
Of course, the mayor voted for it.
Yes.
And,
because Larry want people on his team. Larry want yes men. See, I do know that. That's why Craig's in the position still today, because he wants yes men.
I'm sure of that.
You know, they don't want nobody that's going to come in there and actually change the station, do good for the station, and bring the station back to the standards of the community like it's supposed to be. They want it to be what they want it to be, and their friends basically get all the advantages of the station, not the community, just their friends.
Yeah,
that's who's getting the advantage of KCP. You know, and when it comes to the Edmond Town Center, Larry Weekly don't want it. I believe he don't want it because he wasn't getting nothing out of it. Yep. Now, whatever that personal reason is, because everybody says, and from the story you just told me, that sounds personal. That don't sound like it's a business move.
That's what Larry Brown said, man. It seemed like something personal to me. I mean, it ain't like I could understand it if they're coming up and asking us to give them something.
Right.
All they want is the opportunity to develop something to bring to the community, something that the community couldn't even thought about. Nobody would be able to do anything like that.
And it's in your district. And I mean, like, how in the fuck can you turn that down, something that's in your district that's going to be good for the community? That's what I don't understand. That's what's throwing me right there. And the first thing he brags about is what he does for other people.
Yeah.
Well, that's my job. I do this for other people. I do this for other people. I don't do it for me. I do it for the good of other people. But other people are telling me personally different.
Well, it's like
even you just sat here and told me differently. You ain't doing it for the community because he just tried to not get you to develop the Edmond Town Center, but it was supposed to be for the community.
He just about turned away $18 million investment.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yes, he just about, and then of course he ended up taking the other land back to the city, the other portion of land on MLK.
Yeah,
he did take that. So
I'm sure.
Like, this guy probably didn't cost me, $18-20 million.
Oh, I'm sure.
So,
and I'm sure.
So how can I have real love for the guy?
Exactly.
I don't have, if I see him, I'll speak. Sometimes, I notice that he'll have a tendency to, if he see me, he'll either leave soon if we're in the same room or something of that nature. Or
yes.
He definitely won't come near me.
Yes.
Because he got to have somewhat of a guilty conscience if he's human.
Well,
he got to have some kind of guilt trip that,
yes. Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, it's over and done. And, we was able to at least bring something that the community never could possibly think could happen in the community.
Yeah. Well, Larry wants to be the smartest guy in the room. See, that's his thing. And because what he does to you, he does with me. Well, he was doing with me, but I think he's doing it differently now. But he was doing with me, and I told him. See, because I tell him, I tell this to his motherfucking face. I don't give a fuck about his politics and who he know. I tell him to his face, look, dude, you don't like me, I don't like you. You know what? And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you not liking me because you don't do shit for me. Plain and simple. You don't feed me, you don't pay my bills and all that. So I don't give a damn about you not liking me. So in public, Stacey, because he said, Stacey, I don't know why you going off on me like this because I thought we was cool. I've never done anything. Yeah, you ain't never done. In public, you smiled in my face.
He did something to me. So, he cost in the community because he cost a lot of jobs, a lot of money, a lot of progress.
Yes.
And the thing, and I say that I prayed that when the county position came open, and they had to choose somebody and they chose Larry to lead the city council to come to go to the county commission.
Yes.
I prayed that happened. Please get him out of the community, out of this war. This guy is, nothing can happen economically as long as this guy is have anything to do with something that is good for the community, and especially along the lines of development.
Yes.
Point to something, point to any type of development deal. And let's say if he was on the city councilman for 8, 9, 10 years, whatever, county commissioner for 10, 12 years, point to one thing that he did. Councilman was able to accomplish that really was of any significance.
I'm with you on that one.
And there's just, so can you think about like little
I don't see nothing.
William McCurdy.
Okay, William
you see
McCurdy.
that the development that they just had broke ground on right there next to Nevada Partners.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff that, as the commissioner for that area,
yes.
you should have, that you can point to, that I'm the one that helped this to become develop in this community.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they elected me, to try to make things better and to create jobs and opportunities here in the community.
Yes, sir.
Having to point to any of that.
Yeah, and he can't, because I'm with you on that. I said the same thing. Well, tell me what you actually did. Show me what you actually did, because you can't. I don't know what you did.
Right. So
I've seen what other people. I know what John did. I've watched John do things. What have you done? You see what I'm saying? What has Larry Weekly done other than self-served? And I know a lot of people just like you, business people, just like you, that said that Larry Weekly would not help them unless he was able to get a kickback out of the situation.
Yeah.
Now,
I didn't get no kickback.
No.
Talk about kickback.
No, he ain't. I'm just saying. Not you. I'm just saying other business people.
Yeah.
That have businesses. They've told me this. This ain't nothing that I'm just making. This came from other people to me.
Yeah.
Saying this to me. That he's not really for the community. He ain't really for black people. He ain't trying to help black businesses.
Not the community.
This is what they were telling me.
He'll probably point to the fact that he takes kids to these, expose them to the black universities and stuff like that. He'll point to some of that. He probably would say that.
Yeah, but there's other people that do that too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, come on. There's other people that do it better.
But see, the substance is the thing that where
thank you.
You're a city councilman, county commissioner. Bring some substance to your community.
There you go.
Like all them other county commissioners do for their districts.
There you go. Well, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I want to ask you one more question before we go, and that is, what are you doing now? I know you did your land development back in the day and all that. What is John Edmond doing today that people can be aware of, that's of substance, that they can that they might need some help with?
Well, you know that project that's being built there behind Westside School. Mm-hmm. That's the Community College Training Center. Okay. I put $7.5-8 million into that to develop that, and it's probably about maybe a quarter of the way finished right now. Okay. That's great. And I want to dip and dab, I think, down there on Jackson Street. I think Jackson Street is the next street that should be developed and turned into something that's going to really bring back a lot of significance for the community.
I think so too, man. I'm with you on that.
So you can kind of keep an eye out there, because that's my next move.
Okay. I also heard you was doing something with affordable housing.
Yeah, well, Ms. Duncans, Ruby Duncans, of course, a lot of people may or may not, especially the broadcasters, but of course, Ms. Duncans has been around for many, many years, 56 years, doing stuff for, women with pregnancy, women, this Head Start program, the welfare rights and stuff of that nature that she was able to accomplish during her tenure. Mm-hmm. And she ended up getting a senior housing, having built a senior housing community there on Owens and D Street. Mm-hmm. And she called me up and says, John, I'm in assisted living now. I can't do anymore, but I really would like to see you take that over